AFN Girl Talk Time with Mary Badami.
Good morning. This is Mary Badami for Tempo. 12 hours overnight on a bus tour to Paris, 3 days there, and 12 hours on the bus back, starting at 7 a.m. Who would be foolish enough to stand for that? Well, Mary Badami for one, my mother for another, and 28 or so assorted other people, just 3 of whom were men. Someday it might be worth a Girl Talk show to find out what those 3 guys thought of the trip and how they survived it. But for today, some random thoughts from a bus trip to Paris. Some thoughts on food. People who ordinarily spend each day at home having 3 meals plus maybe some coffee breaks in between apparently go mad with fear of starving on the bus. Have you ever noticed how much food is consumed on a bus ride? Now, lest you think I criticize others at my own expense, I must confess that I, who ordinarily skip breakfast, and have been known to have a Coke with an ice cream sundae for lunch, brought along 8 Milky Way candy bars, plus 15 packs of gum. And at various times in the trip, I gratefully grubbed an egg salad sandwich from one lady, some crispy snack treats from someone else, cookies and beer from other people. It seems that everyone came equipped with huge knapsacks full of food. It's not very different with young people either. In January, I took a trip with 20 or so college students. On an overnight bus ride to Genoa, it was pretty much the same story. We consumed, seemingly all night, a fantastic selection of foods, including candy canes and lettuce as 2 of the specialties of that trip. Some thoughts on drink. People are always concerned about what to drink on a trip. Now, those who've had bad experiences with the local water in other countries are always a little bit wary of ordinary water. I know one woman who brought a special bottle of wine on a trip to Italy to avoid swallowing the local water. She brushed her teeth in it. There seems to be something wrong with everything you can choose when you're traveling. Beer and wine at midday make some people sleepy. Coffee never tastes the same as at home. Soft drinks seem too sweet and unappealing for many tastes, while mineral water tastes too much like the bicarbonate of soda you take for an upset stomach. Some thoughts on provisions. Besides your clothes, what do you pack in your suitcase on a trip? One thing is medication. Lots of people worry about running out of their favorite pills and prescriptions along the way. With what each of us had brought to Paris, our 1 busload of people could easily have outfitted a respectable-sized pharmacy. I personally could have supplied 2 kinds of migraine headache remedies plus throat lozenges. Others came equipped with aspirin, tranquilizers, pills against motion sickness, and, of course, pills against diarrhea. Further thoughts on provisions. How comfortable can you afford to be when you're away on a trip? How many conveniences do you really bring along? An umbrella and boots, for instance. They're awful to pack and easily lost, but we really needed them that weekend. A pillow, for instance. Almost all of us were jealous of the 3 or 4 people who had brought them along. As we tried to be contortionists going to sleep on the bus with our heads bouncing on the window or stuck between the seats, several people were very comfortable on their soft pillows that they had brought along. Some thoughts on helplessness. Your very first time in a foreign city, especially if, like most Americans, you have little or no knowledge of the language, can be a frustrating state for most adults because you seem to return to relative dependence and uncertainty. You must learn how to mail a letter, how to make a telephone call, how to call a taxi, how to use the transportation system, and even how to find the bathroom. You must figure out how much your money is worth. At first, it always feels to me too much like Monopoly money for me to realize how much I'm really paying out. So much this week for reminiscences in May in Munich, on April in Paris. Some more random thoughts on a bus trip to Paris next week. This has been Mary Badami in Munich, in Tempo.